A very good morning and welcome to another daily market outlook where we're going to be discussing the major dollar pairs. So yesterday was quite a boring day with the pound bank holiday, but today EURUSD and all these other major dollar pairs should start moving a little bit more. So yesterday obviously we came from this area of daily supply. If we just move to the left here on the daily time frame, you can see that there was supply inside those 2 wicks right here on the daily. Now if you then move back to the right, you can see we see an initial bearish reaction. So a lot of people see an initial bearish reaction. They see us coming in towards an area of supply. However, guys, an area of supply doesn't mean anything, especially in a market where the overall market trend is bullish in towards the upside, right? Especially if we see this much momentum. An area of supply could just be a reaction point, right? Because in an uptrend, what do you expect? You expect pullbacks to happen. Where do pullbacks happen from? From areas of supply. So an area of supply could just indicate a very short-term pullback before, for example, continuing up higher. What we need to understand that EURUSD is ready to pull back down lower is an actual change in the overall structure. And a change in the overall structure and a failure of demand would happen if we were to break the low of this bearish candle over here on the daily time frame. Then there would be a lot more probability and a lot higher probability for EURUSD to push down lower. As we can see, this area of demand, this sell before the buy, is extremely strong area of demand due to the fact that this bullish candle here closed as an engulfing candle on that candlestick. Therefore, this could still just push price up higher. So if we really want those high probability shorts, again, we need to break that daily fractal low. So for now, still longs are potentially on the table, guys, until we see a shift in the overall bias. Then again, going in towards the 4-hour time frame, the 4-hour is also still bullish after sweeping liquidity underneath the low over here, right? What happened is that we saw that V-shaped reversal in towards the highs, very strong candle over here with the expectation that the Fed is going to cut rates, and this just simply means that interest rates are going to be going down, so people who invest their money in the United States will get less return, indicating that they're looking for other places to potentially put their money. That's just kind of like in very basic terms what it indicates. Now overall, this is the entire range. With the entire range, I just indicate the order flow. So this is the overall sell before the buy, indicating that this could just be our demand zone, right? If we then refine that demand zone, it could indicate that this is your demand over here from where we expect to move up higher. However, it doesn't need to happen because this is the entire order flow over here, okay? So this entire sell before the buy, especially in a bullish market where the momentum is high, could just push price up higher. Now, how do we understand if we're going to continue moving down lower, for example, in towards this demand zone, or if we're just going to start moving up higher again from where the market is currently at, right? So in order to understand that, I go in towards the lower time frame. So I look at, for example, the 1-hour time frame or the 15-minute. So if we look at the 1-hour time frame, we can very clearly see that this over here, the high of this imbalance candle, is your fractal high. So for now, this fractal high has been holding and it's been suppressing price. As we can see yesterday, since around the New York session, we've just been ranging here on euro dollar. I'm currently waiting. I would only be looking for a long, really. If we just look at the 15, I would only really be looking or interested in a potential long if we start breaking the highs here on the 1-hour time frame. So for example, this high over here and even potentially this high, then I would be interested in a potential long up higher, because until then I would potentially just see the market move down lower and lower. For example, grab liquidity again underneath this low and push down in towards this refined area of demand, okay? So that's just very simply what we're pretty much looking at. Overall here on the 15-minute time frame, you could say that this is at the moment a bearish market, but the internal trend is just bearish, right? So what we're now looking at, or excuse me, the overall swing trend is bearish from this high in towards this low. So this high over here in towards this low. We've now already seen quite a substantial pullback in towards this supply zone over here. So we could just push down lower. However, again, the market is just ranging. Therefore, I'm sticking more to, let's say, the 1-hour and the 4-hour. And therefore, just looking at the 1-hour if we can identify any potential trades over there. Now going in towards the dollar index here on the 4-hour time frame is just also following the overall order flow. Again, very similar to EURUSD, but now the entire buy before the sell. That is now acting as our area of supply. As you can see, we tapped into it twice. Now, if we were to refine that, then you could potentially look over here and you see these 2 wicks. So these 2 wicks are acting as supply at the moment. If we break the 2 wicks and we break this high, there is potential for the dollar to move up higher in towards, for example, over here. So this would then be the supply zone. Okay, so this would then be your supply zone on the 4-hour time frame. But for now, we're just holding up inside here, and we could just start pushing down lower. Therefore, I'm very hesitant with looking for a short on EURUSD just yet, on the 15-minute, for example. So keep that in mind. Go into the daily. Then do keep in mind again on the other side that we do have daily demand over here inside these 2 wicks, right over here. And we have kind of like this swing low, then move back to the right, and you can very clearly see that we're starting to see some kind of a reversal. However, very similar to what we're seeing on EURUSD, we have some supply over here, right? This is your buy before the sell-off. So in order to see a real true shift in all these pairs, guys, we need the overall 4-hour to start shifting. That is just my outlook. I need to break this area of supply for now. Then I could see, for example, a short-term up push on the dollar index back up in toward that supply zone. Until then, this supply zone is just holding. Okay. Now go in towards Aussie dollar. What are we seeing there? Go into the daily time frame. I'm waiting at the moment for the daily high to get swept over here. That's what I'm just waiting for. Again, what you can see, we just actually missed out on that overall sell before the buy. As you can see over here, a little bit ugly, but overall, again, momentum is still strong in towards the upside, guys. So only looking and interested in shorts if we can start breaking that daily fractal low, guys. Until then, the overall momentum is just in towards the highs. It is being a little bit patient here on the dollar pairs, but I'm just trying to prevent you guys from taking those losses, because this demand zone could just push price up higher. So if we could, or we could just fall again one more time in towards the downside, that could happen, but just keep in mind that the overall daily demand is still holding. Now we have seen a fractal shift in structure as well this morning, with a break of the fractal high here. So this, depending on this 4-hour candle close, could just be an area of demand again to push price above that overall swing high, which I just noted. So maybe I will be looking for a short-term Aussie dollar long up higher. Going in towards pound dollar, what are we seeing there? Still very slow yesterday. It was a UK bank holiday. Now looking at the 15 over here, it's just been consolidating like a madman. If we look over here, you can very clearly see 25% market is acting as your support and 75% market acted as resistance. Waiting on this pair for sure, guys, until we see a breakout. Not gonna burn anything, or we're not gonna burn my hands on any potential trade. It's just a guessing game on where this pair is heading for now. Obviously, it would be nice to start seeing a pullback very, very soon, but I would prefer to take a pullback if we first of all sweep the high and then see a 4-hour change of character, for example. Then I would be interested in looking for a short, only then. Going in towards NZDUSD. NZDUSD here on the daily, obviously in supply over here, but keep in mind we also have this swing high over here, again with a fresh area of supply as well over here where we could just push into. This supply zone could still push price down lower, for example, in towards this demand zone, and it would still be a good buy, guys. It would still be a good buy to look for a long from this area of demand on NZDUSD. So wait is my advice. Looking here on the 4-hour, first of all, what has just happened, guys, is that we've seen a 4-hour fractal shift again. So 4-hour fractal was bearish. You could look for a potential short. Would I short from this zone? No. Why? Well, because we are still extremely bullish, and it's not smart to just sell on the very first change of character, because change of characters happen everywhere. So what you would want to do in this situation to validate this area of supply is, for example, only take a sell on the low break over here, and then place your stop loss above that so-called valid demand zone. And then you could have taken something like this, but then again, the risk to reward is just very shit, or very poor, excuse me. So therefore, what we're now seeing is that we've had a demand zone created over here, and I'm just going to be following order flow. So this demand zone should remain valid with the overall bullish market that we currently have. Now looking at the daily, again, we have this daily area of supply, so we could just crash down lower again. Obviously, taking a long from here is a lower probability than taking a long inside a daily demand zone. So therefore, if you do actually want to take a long, just and you want a higher probability setup, wait for this demand zone. If you are an aggressive trader and you take a lot of setups, then you could look for a long inside of this 4-hour fractal zone, which I just highlighted. Okay, so that is NZDUSD. Now going into gold, what is happening over there? So gold here on the 4-hour. Let's start over there. So on the 4-hour time frame, what has happened, guys? So on the 4-hour time frame, we are bullish. We had a break of structure, right? So this is the swing low. This is currently your swing high. What do we expect after a break of structure? We expect a pullback. So we have already seen a minor pullback over here in towards the downside. Now, what you need to look at furthermore in regards to this 4-hour structure is that if we look at the internal structure, this was kind of like an internal break, and then this was an internal break in towards the downside. So if we look at structure and swing structure more specifically, this is kind of how you view structure over here. However, internal structure is signaling a potential pullback. So an internal structure is just simply something like this. So this is your swing high, this is your swing low, and then you kind of have an internal break of structure, which we have over here. So we're going from a bullish in towards a bearish. We're now inside the extreme, with this being your high, this being your low, so there is a potential short on our hands. Furthermore, if you view the fractal structure, you can very clearly also see that over here, this is the fractal high, this is the fractal low break, this is now supply. So we're now inside 4-hour supply, so there is potential for a short going towards the 1-hour time frame. Then we also have supply. So this is now your potential short. Look on the 15-minute time frame for a potential change in character, and then you could take a potential short in towards the downside, but I would be waiting for confirmation before selling. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Wish you all a fantastic trading day, and speak soon.